Hello, welcome to Some Notes on Style. I'm your host, Joseph. This week we're going to take a look at one of the most luxurious fall color pairings, one which proves infinite combinations by running up and down the range of tones within these two timeless classic neutrals, camel and gray. We'll keep a through line of a traditional camel hair blazer as a solid foundational entry into this color pairing. But additionally, we'll jump into a broader range of combinations, keeping this palette consistent throughout this collection. Traditionally within menswear, the camel color can be derived from actual camel hair, which is a type of woolen-like material made from shearing the fur of camels. Camel hair has been used throughout much of the 18th, 19th, and 20th centuries, and most commonly became popularized in the early 1920s when a camel hair polo coat became fashionable for a warm layer to be worn over sporting clothes, traditionally in polo and tennis wear. And camel hair cloth became more and more popular as it translated easily into sport jackets in the Ivy League era. Camel hair sport jackets became so ubiquitous within most men's traditional wardrobes in the fall and winter seasons that they are easily one of the most common garments to find on the vintage market at incredibly reasonable prices. If you look carefully, you can find some really beautiful examples with patch pockets and softer traditional ivy construction. Try to keep an eye out. Most true camel hair jackets usually are labeled as such with a woven label on the interior. But many times the camel colorway was also utilized as time went on. This beautiful, rich golden tan color makes for a great addition in any guy's wardrobe in a collection of odd jackets and trousers. So today we're going to take a look at 13 examples of how to integrate camel and gray into your wardrobe into fall. First up, like most odd jackets, the easiest and most iconic combination comes in the form of some mid-gray flannel wool trousers for nearly any occasion imaginable. In this example, in keeping with the traditional ivy style, I paired it with a Brooks Brothers Oxford cloth button-down shirt and a forest green crested rep tie, for the most traditional take on the camel and gray pairing I could think of. Of course, the button-down Oxford shirt is a wonderful balance of formality and casual dressing, which accents the camel hair blazer quite nicely in that it is not necessarily the highest end of the formal spectrum, but can easily be paired with more traditional, dressier clothing for a dressier look that does not stray too far into boring corporate outfit territory. And on that note, another added element for adding a pop of color would be a punch of vivid purple socks. These guys are from Uniqlo, to add a little hint of something fun under those flannels. And in the next example, in keeping that same foundation of the camel hair blazer and gray flannels, we can also take a more modern, minimal approach. Here I've got a lighter gray heathered polo shirt layered under a light gray heathered cashmere cable knit sweater. With this kind of look, we start to head into the fuller range of pairings possible, which can be explored when we start to broaden the gray spectrum within the tonal pairings against the camel. When you're pairing gray and camel, because of the warmness of the rich camel color, keeping your grays with a warmer undertone helps to pull these two neutrals closer together. Not to mention paying close attention to the softness of your sweater, which also gives a lot of textural interest so that the brushed finish of the camel jacket accents nicely with the softness of a rich cashmere sweater. Perhaps this is why color pairing like this lends itself so nicely to more luxurious pieces, because the inherent quality of the material starts to have more room to be showcased in your outfit when the color pairings do not compete for attention. And finally, working our way down from the dressy to casual spectrum, now I've swapped out the more formal gray wool flannels for some classic blue jeans in a medium wash. These are from Levi's. The medium wash kind of acts similarly to that medium gray flannel in that the faded wash takes on a heathered-like effect, which gives some of these pairings a lot of depth against the rich, warm camel hair in the blazer. Keeping the same trick as the last look, I've got the cashmere cable knit sweater accenting the camel jacket, but in this instance the foundation of a mid-blue chambray workwear shirt. This one's a vintage piece from J. Crew. It's got this cool tab collar with lots of details around the neckline, so there's a little bit of visual interest against the clean lines of the crew neck sweater and the camel jacket. But that old trick of the denim on denim foundation keeps a nice casual through line underneath this luxurious sweater and jacket combo to give a kind of Americana undertone to help undercut the formality of the camel and gray up top. Here I've got the flannels back on again in that same shade of heathered mid-gray paired with some camels up top. This jacket technically is not a true camel hair. This is a beautiful brushed Shetland wool tweed and a traditional herringbone pattern cut into a modified hacking jacket. This is an old Polo prototype made as a precursor to the newer RL67 model. I love this style because it's got a nice wide beefy lapel and some very structured shoulders. This particular jacket has got slanted hacking pockets, which really visually cinches in the waist and flares out the hips. So you got some really interesting competing style lines on this coat. But regardless, in this pairing I've got it accented with a cotton v-neck sweater in a similar color as the jacket for some rich tonality. Then in this instance I've got a slightly dressier cream colored shirt paired with a wool challis four-yard necktie with a chocolate brown ground color. The shirt is one I picked up last year from Banana Republic, and it's made in a great cotton cashmere blend. So not only does the cream color pair better than a pure white against the camels and grays, but that touch of cashmere in the shirting provides a bit of a brush texture to complement the soft brushed wool in the tweed jacket. With this kind of look, you've got a high degree of formality obviously with the crisp collared shirt, but in keeping the palette in these tans and browns, and obviously with the baseline of the gray flannels, there remains a defined English country language throughout the entire ensemble. And next up, speaking of English country styling, we're going to mosey on over into another variation of the camel jacket, in this case in a rich shade of camel suede. Here I've kept the heathered gray combo in a sporting waistcoat and swapped out the gray flannel trousers for some cream colored denim. Underneath it all, I've thrown in that great textural element of a cream tattersall sport shirt complemented with a wool challis paisley tie in deep maroons, blues, and tans. With this look, I wanted to try to emphasize that with the camel and gray color palette in mind, we can start to shift around the combinations and different elements within the outfit for different outcomes. In this case, keeping the off-white denim down below and the camel and gray in the upper part of the outfit, a much sportier look can be made. When you look at these two looks side by side, you can see that you've got a shirt, tie, and jacket and a layer in between on both looks. But with this look, we've actually got a more formal waistcoat and tie pairing. But because of the cream jeans and the suede hacking jacket, there's a sportier, more equestrian element, which actually allows the shirt and tie to just become a secondary accent of texture and pattern rather than emphasize the crisp formality look of a collared shirt the previous combo did. And this time around, I got the cream jeans grounded with some Jodhpur Chelsea boots to follow through with the sporting theme in the footwear. Now the suede hacking jacket feels a bit too formal or too specific. This kind of look can easily be translated using that suede Banana Republic trucker jacket I talked about a few weeks back in a similar shade of that blonde suede. Or instead of the formal waistcoat, the gray layer can easily be swapped out for a v-neck sweater. When you look at an outfit like this, the basic elements that make up the foundation of this kind of look are the cream jeans, the tan suede outer, and the gray mid layer, and some sort of underpinning of tattersall or plaid for visual texture. So it's this language of the combinations of colors and textures that can easily be made using a wider variety of pieces with equal success. And finally, in this example, I've kind of merged the formal and informal aspects of the previous two looks. This can be taken as a suggestion of a more casual way of wearing your dress flannels in the camel sport coat. I've layered underneath that same Banana Republic cotton cashmere cream colored button-down shirt, this time worn open collar, and I've thrown in this deep rich brown Zara scarf tied at the neck to play into the full range of the brown side of the palette. In this instance, the deep chocolatey brown helps to add a visual focal point against the camel jacket, and keeping the sporty look here, we've got the rich chocolate accenting again showing up in the suede Jodhpur boots so that the footwear helps to dress down the gray flannels. Gray flannels are great for this reason because of the heathered textural quality. They make for some really interesting odd trousers when wearing them casually. It's kind of like I said before, they almost act like a pair of blue jeans in that they have a lot of visual depth in their heathering. Gray flannels are easily one of the most versatile pairs of trousers any guy can have in his wardrobe for that very reason. Now onto the casual side of things. For a rainy Sunday kind of vibe, here I've got the other most iconic piece of camel outerwear, which is the classic tan raincoat. As opposed to the classic trench coat, this is a single-breasted tan raglan sleeve coated raincoat, which is an easy way of throwing on a simple clean lined outer layer to frame up an otherwise quite casual weekend look. Down below I've got these fantastic heathered gray cotton drawstring lounge pants I picked up from Uniqlo. The nice thing with these is that they can easily pass for a flannel-like look, so a lot of the same styling tricks can also be made with flannel dress trousers can easily translate to this weekend casual alternative. Or of course, if you work from home or a more casual office environment, they can easily double as a more loungy, modern-day version of the classic gray flannel trousers. And up top I've got these lounge pants paired with a beautiful open weave cotton chunky knit sweater and crew neck cut. This particular version is an old Orvis model I picked up from eBay, so really once you lose the trench coat and cozy up at home, this look is completely lounge worthy, but still keeps an elevated angle with a soft tonal color palette. And of course, keeping things on the sporty side, I paired these with some white canvas sneakers to keep things nice and light, although maybe not the best choice for the rain. Next up, back to another casual blazer look. In this case, we've got the very traditional black and white herringbone tweed sport coat, giving a really nice textural edge to this tonal underpinning. As a base, I've got some khaki colored denim 5 pockets from Ralph Lauren, a cream colored cotton cable knit sweater vest, and an off-white macrame polo shirt from Zara. In this look, we're kind of taking the tan and white mix as a foundation and then wrapping the gray around that. These khaki denim jeans are a nice bit of a rugged edge to accent against a soft brush tweed jacket. This is a brushed virgin wool tweed, but can easily be pulled together using a more rough and tumble Harris tweed, which is such a standard staple piece it can be found nearly anywhere secondhand at a very fair price. This kind of look also works nicely in the transitional days of fall because the jacket can easily be taken off if temperatures peak in the afternoon, and you've instantly got a much sportier, cooler layer underneath. And next up, here we got another great weekend look, in this instance pairing the cream jeans with a heathered gray polo shirt, a leather braided belt, and a great super thin paisley neck scarf. I think this thing is a Ralph Lauren knockoff I found on eBay coming out of China. When I got this thing in the mail, it was doused with ladies' perfume. It's taken me quite a bit of work to get this thing halfway wearable. But regardless, I love that within its rich paisley, you've got all these shades of purples, reds, blues, and tans. The color lends itself quite nicely to act as a pop against the neutrals of tans, grays, and browns. Then rounding out this look up top, I've got a really nice chunky breast shirt jacket in this deep, rich tobacco color. I love the way this shirt jacket frames out all of my fall and winter casual looks. It really has such a great, deep, rich color. And here's the surprising thing, I grabbed this guy a few years back from Old Navy. As much as I love this thing, I hate to say it, but it is made from 100% polyester, which is not so great. But because I generally wear it in the cooler temperatures, it actually works quite nicely as a not so breathable, warmer outer layer. I've been trying to find a version of it in a natural heavyweight material for years, but I have yet to have any luck. So in the meantime, we'll just use it to its fullest potential and dress it up with some cream denim jeans and a gray heathered knit. Down below, some chunky Doc Marten Chelsea boots help the cream jeans from looking too precious. Once again, this kind of look is great for the weekend, and I can easily lose the shirt jacket, and I've got a nice polo shirt and jeans combo that if the weather's a little cool out and I feel like making a run outside, this heavy-duty shirt jacket easily helps to take the edge off that cool breeze. Next up, a chunky shawl collar cardigan is a great way of incorporating a waistcoat style look into a more casual wardrobe. The chunkiness of this cardigan, which I picked up from H&M last year, adds a great visual weight to this look and helps to warm up this thin workwear jacket from Target's Goodfellow line. Similar to the Old Navy piece, the quality on this Target jacket is okay. It's 100% cotton, which is great, but pretty thin. Mostly it's just one of those pieces that has that great color that's just right. I find myself wearing more often than not because it does pair very well with many other camels and tans. Underneath these pieces I've also got another Goodfellow piece. This one's a gray flannel. It's got this great light gray color with a cream and tan overcheck pattern. I've got to say, Target's flannels are not so great. They're a little on the thin side, and the collar has absolutely no structure. I find the best way to keep them looking halfway decent is to make sure they are constantly well ironed. But I really love this light gray pattern, and it pairs nicely against the mid-wash blue jeans, almost pulling the same trick as the chambray shirt and that tonality of the gray and the blue in the jeans, which is about the same. So with using these really inexpensive pieces, we can take cues from a more expensive brand's collection. By pulling the tonality of the tans and grays together, you can really up the sophistication level. And with that camel sweater and a similar shade to the tan workwear jacket, you can also give these really rugged pieces a dose of quiet luxury. Next, in really reaching into that deep shade of chocolate brown and the camel into the color spectrum, I've got another cameo from the previously mentioned Banana Republic suede trucker jacket. Sometimes this thing is such a shoe-in I can't help but grab it in a pinch. And in this ruggedly luxurious weekend look, I've got the suede jacket paired with a gray feathered cashmere cable knit, which can easily be replaced with any sort of marbled gray sweatshirt or merino wool sweater. And down below, I've got the khaki colored denim jeans from Ralph Lauren and some beat up Chelsea boots from Doc Martens. With this kind of look, the brown suede and cashmere really elevate the otherwise quite casual look of a gray crew neck and jeans. And finally, we end up with two variations on the classic camel blazers, and this first example being a more traditional Italian banker version of the classic Ivy League rig I showed earlier. In this case, we're going to swap out the Oxford cloth button down for a nice, rich, deep blue spread collar dress shirt. This one's from Charles Tyrwhitt. And the ubiquitous silk knit necktie in a deep navy color, which adds a wonderful focus to all of its surrounding neutrals. Of course, the gray flannels down below match the tonality of the camel hair up top. Same with the light gray cotton socks and some brown loafers. This look really is the best modern example of that classic gray flannel camel blazer combo. This is the kind of formal look that can be worn nearly any occasion at nearly any age, and I guarantee you'll look like $1,000,000. And then on the other end of the spectrum, we've got the casual weekend version of an equally iconic pairing. In this case, I've got that mid-wash blue denim, the mid-wash blue chambray shirt for a Texas tuxedo foundation that beautifully complements the pairing of camel blazer in the faded and wash shades of blue down below. In this case, the great accent comes in the form of this wonderful gray Glen plaid thin wool scarf I picked up a few years ago from Boggy, a really cool modern menswear brand out of Italy. Fine, thin wool scarves are always my secret weapon in the fall if the temperatures aren't too bad out. The combo of a cozy structured wool or tweed blazer and a fine gauge wool scarf really does a great job of keeping the chill out from an otherwise quite casual outfit without needing to layer up too many heavy duty sweaters and jackets. Penny loafers help to keep the denim from looking too cowboy. So with these two looks, I hope you can see the full range of versatility a camel hair blazer can bring you, not to mention the endless possibilities of keeping a fall palette of camel and gray in your wardrobe. You can pull together different types of looks with ease and keep quite expensive looking color palette throughout your looks, elevating even the most inexpensive pieces into high-end luxury territory. And with that, that's going to wrap us up for this week, guys. Hope you all enjoyed this short exploration into a very iconic color pairing. As I said last week, please bear with me as I'm exploring the various formatting ideas. Don't worry, the paper dolls will be returning again soon. I got a few other ideas up my sleeve for some other ways we can explore various topics going forward. As I mentioned before, if you're missing my weekly dose of inspirational imagery, please do stroll over to my Patreon page. By joining Some Notes on Style Patreon and becoming a distinguished gentleman, I'll be sending you a monthly newsletter incorporating that imagery that would have otherwise been shown here on YouTube with this corresponding weekly topic directly to you in your mailbox in the newly formed monthly Some Notes on Style newsletter. On that note, a special thanks to the viewers who have joined the Patreon already. Your help is greatly appreciated. Or if Patreon's a bit much for you, you can head on over to Buy Me a Coffee and leave a small one-time donation to help out the channel. And of course, thank you to all you guys for watching and sticking with me here on the channel. And as always, if you're enjoying the video, please do give me a thumbs up. If you're enjoying the channel, click that subscribe button if you haven't already. Once again, the channel is Some Notes on Style. I'm your host, Joseph. See you again next time, guys. Bye.